Bobby J. Welcome back to the channel. 2024 rice harvest season. You know, your kids, you bring them home from the hospital for this little baby crying, diapers, not on the teeth. But you know what? Time flies by, and they're all grown up, and they're running your combine for you. And we got a new member on the crew, my wife. She's taking up driving the bank out. And I have to say, she's doing a pretty darn good job for a newbie. Let's get this crop harvested.
2024 rice harvest. We ready to start it?
Yep. And let's see here, day number one. It's 101 degrees yesterday, so the old 12 valve, the rotary 12 valve in the bank out was wanting to hit up to 220. So I would consider that running basically hot. Today's supposed to be quite a bit better. Fortunately, we're only looking at a high of 99. So, you know, beautiful harvesting weather. And we'll see how it does. Yeah, blowing out that radiator, a little bit of junk. Hopefully that maybe buys us 10 degrees or so, get her down to more 210. I'd be happy with 210 or comfortable. And then this machine, last year, it was wanting to run a little bit on the warm side of the gauge on the old CTS Maximizer. So this year I decided to pull the radiator. So we got completely rebuilt, not rotted out, a completely rebuilt with a new core radiator. And so yeah, 101 yesterday, and guess what? Still runs warm. One thing I did notice, two things, is one, my feelings aren't hurt because when I pulled the old radiator out, I actually found where it was leaking at the bottom of the core, and it was basically fairly rotten anyway. So that was still money well spent. And the second thing is it doesn't want to swing as far over on the gauge. So I think the gauge itself just runs over a little bit. It's a difference in the, I need to put actually a heat gun and see what the actual temperature is. But on a hot day, the gauge would move quite a bit. Now, it still wants to run up very center and just wants to move a little bit. So I don't see the gauge moving as much. That means the radiator is doing a better job. So rock and roll on day number 2 and see what happens. Oh, here comes one on the float. He must have finished. Cool. All right. Day 2, load number 3. I think we got some of the bugs worked out. Juan hasn't told me the bank out's getting hot, so I think we're making some progress here. We're beating the heat. We're getting everything shined up is what we call it. We're getting all the rust off of everything. And the CTS is doing it mighty fine. Got the stripper header, the Shelbourne Reynolds stripper header on the CTS. Now, never had this on here before. Always ran the Honeybee. In fact, this machine's got 5,000 hours on it. And what is it? It's a 1999, so it's 25 years old. It has probably never had a stripper header on it, a Shelbourne Reynolds stripper header. So this is a first for it, I'm sure. And the reason why I got this header on, normally I run this header on the 9610. The Honeybee header goes on this machine, is because I'm gonna try to run just one machine this year. We'll see how that actually works out for me, but I'm looking forward to not having to clean up so much equipment in the fall time. These things are kind of a drag to clean up. And yeah, I'm gonna try to get away with just running one machine this year. Oh wow, look at the giant hole. Who's gonna fix pull the stripper header off here. We'll get the honeybee on. We'll yank this one on just like. And the honeybee is on. Let's go polish her up for the first time this year. Alright, there we go. And that is why the honeybee had to go on. This is flat and matted down like a carpet. Hard to pick up, tough on the machine, but it'll get it. And if we don't get it, we can't pay the bills. So tough to get or not, we're gonna get it picked up. Pre-maintenance is important. There was a hydraulic line that I noticed on the combine that looked slightly questionable. She's a little ugly. And I thought, well, I'll get to that. First, I'm gonna pull this radiator out. I'm gonna work on the unloading tube. I'm gonna work on this and that. That's no big deal. That's a little hydraulic line. I'll get that changed. I don't. We get going. We're harvesting. Day 4. It blows apart. Sprays oil all over the exhaust muffler. Almost catches on fire. Fortunately, it didn't. And sprays oil all over the main drive belt for the rotors, and started to make a pretty good smoke show as those that rotor belt started to spin pretty good. So I shut the machine down right away and jump out with my fire extinguishers because I'm expecting a fire. Fortunately, I didn't wind up with a fire, but okay, so then that's where it's at. We're shut down, we're broke down. So I wind up changing the hydraulic line anyway, right in the middle of the harvesting day, right in the middle of the day of the afternoon, prime harvesting hours, which harvesting hours are important because we can't just harvest whenever we want. We can only really harvest from about 11 in the morning, 11:30, closer to noon, until into the evening, depending on how still the breeze is in the evening. That's it. So here I am, I'm changing this hydraulic line in the middle of prime harvesting time. Lost a whole bunch of oil also, so I'm buying some more oil. Then we get it all put back together. Okay, no big deal. You know, we're an hour and 15 minutes later, fire it back up, and guess what? That main drive belt for the rotors, well, that, with it slipping, caused a chain reaction. The rotors come to a stop because the belt's slipping. Meanwhile, the beater is still shoving straw into the front of the rotors, and the cylinder is still shoving straw into the front of the beater. You know, kind of a stack up. So I go to start it. Sure enough, the rotors are all plugged up. And that's not a simple task. That took us about 4 hours to tear the machine in half, get the rotors out, unplug the wad that was in there, get everything put back together, and get going. Slowly but surely, walking these things out of here. Find the slug. Yeah, I think we found what we're looking for. And that's what they look like when you get the knot out of there. And we got the knot out of there. And that's what she looks like down the belly of the beast. So now put this thing back together, try to gain our 3 hours back. There's all the duty on the ground. And now just shake it, just shake it. Now we just got to put it back together. Come on, Bolt. See, here at Frobos Farms, we don't mess around. We're serious. We even have green zip ties to hold our crank in our green John Deere combine. That's right. And then by the time we were done with that, we were dirty, we were sweaty, and we were tired. Should have changed that stupid hydraulic line that I saw. We need a new mechanic around here. I fit down the road pretty good, huh? Whoa, railroad sign. Whoa, another sign. Yeah, I fit pretty good, you know, 22 feet wide. It's all right though. I got an Escort out in front. We're good. Woo! Whoa, hang on here. Hang off the phone. Oh, this is a little better. Fit down this road a little better. Oh, what's the neighbor doing? It is John Deere. What are you doing, dude? All right, here we go. Dipping into the next field. 22 acres. This is a big one. Should be able to knock this out in one day, hopefully. And then I finish this one. Then we're out of here. We got a boogie over to the other end of town. Well, trying to keep things interesting around here on the farm. And today is bring your wife and kid to work with you day. How about that? Rookie, look right here. Yeah, you know, bring them to work, show them to your colleagues, you know, introduce them to your colleagues, show them your cubicle, your computer, you know, the things that you do at work, you know, Bob in accounting, that sort of thing. That reminds me, actually, tomorrow's formal day. I gotta remember, I need to get my suit ironed and that back from the dry cleaners. Tomorrow I need to wear my suit to work. Tomorrow's formal day.
I'll get right on that.
We're in the not even yet released John Deere TP3 9000. It chops, it crops, it even hops. We've got cameras, we've got Bluetooth, we've even got cup holder. All right, Juan just called me. Something's up with the bank out. It won't unload. So we'll stroll up there and see what we can find. It's just not too far away. Pile of rice and a broken taper bushing. Vertical auger won't spin, but the horizontal auger still wanting to run. So now we got a mess. Now, let's see how well this works here. Not very well. So yeah, looks like that taper bushing came completely apart. Hopefully the keyway is okay on the shaft that goes into the gearbox. That's the most important because the rest of the parts there, the sprocket's probably fine too. It's probably just the taper bushing, but that's all off-the-shelf parts, easy to find. Now, I am down in the bank out for the rest of the evening, and I'm all by myself. That's all right. I don't have too far to go to get to the trailers. When the combine gets full, I'll have to taxi my way over there and unload myself. So, I want to get done this evening. I want to get done because we want to get moved across town and get out of here and get started in the other area. All right, am I gonna make it? The trailers are completely full. The bank out is gone. It went back to the shop, and the combine is almost full. I'm waiting for the grain tank full light to come on. All I got is this little stretch. If I can't finish, I gotta wait around here until 11:30 in the morning to be able to finish this little tiny patch. But if I do finish, I can make all this fit. I can figure out how to get unloaded in the morning early and get this rig on the road. Come on, baby. Don't chime on me. Oh, photo finish. That's the last little bit, and we are done. Whew, photo finish. All right, we're stuffed to the max. Trailers are full. I'd say those trailers are full, huh? We barely made it, but we made it. Full to the top. All right. Now, we can still be on schedule for tomorrow morning. I'll get this thing unloaded early, and we can be on the road while the dew is drying and not be moving during prime harvesting hours. All right. Back to the dryer to go dry all this rice. See what I got in my stash: the sprockets, taper bushings, lock collars. Yep. Okay. There it is right there. Yep, that's the same taper bushing. And I went and found that. There's the keyway right there. And what more than likely happened is the taper lock broke, and then the keyway slowly but surely vibrated its way out, and that's why then it spun on the shaft. So there we go. We still got the Allens from the old taper bushing. Boom, all the parts in stock. Cool. We can get this slammed back together in the morning and be right back on schedule. All right. What 12,000 pounds looks like in my dump trailer. That thing's got a lot of room. All right, he's on the move. My turn. A little bit late, but at least we're going. Whoa. Walking floor trailer. Whoop. All right, no one died. Wow, are you serious? You idiot. What is wrong with you? You're literally... this kind of stuff, I tell you. Trying to get equipment moved. And we're unloading again. Hopefully it hangs together. Hopefully I put it back together right. Rice. Almonds. Rice. Almonds. Oh, rice. Almonds. Rice. You get the idea. Pretty much the story of my life. Well, man, he's jamming, trying to get unloaded. He's got that thing cranked up because I'm just about full. Getting pretty close. See, he got hung up. We had to go load that second trailer. So he had to wait for my dad to get turned around with the truck. Is he gonna make it? There he is. And we're going. Big four-wheel drive bank outs on big rubber on the combine, because we wind up in the mud and to get the rice out, we got to get through it. Stuff happens, but yeah, in the mud. Got to have four-wheel steer, four-wheel drive to get through it all. as bad as it gets right there. You can see the water moving. And that's why everybody uses doubles in agriculture. First rain shower of the year. And as you can see there, I got a full grain tank. I need to get this thing unloaded before this rice gets wet. And then I need to switch headers, get this blue header off, get the stripper header off, and get the honeybee header on, because I pretty much at this point cut everything. It's all standing and pretty, and now I got all down and lodged rice. So yeah, like I said, get the honeybee header on here because that's the one we're gonna need. First thing up on the list this morning is that puppy right there. AC went out in my bank out. The clutch mainly, it's pulling too many amps. That pump is old. It came with that engine. That engine came out of a first gen 92, like D250, and that pump was on there. I hooked the lines up and went for it. And sure enough, that pump's been going for like 10, 12 seasons now. So we're gonna go ahead and pull that pump, change the dryer. Let's see here, where's the dryer? Dryer's right there. Yank that dryer out real quick. And here we go. We've got some fresh R134A. We got ourselves the dryers right there. And here's the pump. So let's get to it. My little pancake compressor in there, just barely. This little Robin air operated air vac requires 4.25 CFM. My little compressor in there makes 4.25 CFM. Barely. We got just a little bit of vacuum. We're sucking it down. Got the new pump in. Now, the dryer was a fail. Not the right dryer. Fittings are different. But we don't have time to go back to the parts store, try to get the right one. We're gonna run with the old dryer. It'll be all right. It'll be all right. It's gonna have to be all right. Okay, let this thing vacuum down for a little while. And we'll try putting some Freon in it. it's a little bit low, but I think I'm gonna leave it like that because I don't want to get it over full. You know, we get a warm day, then we'll know if it's low, and we can always add by the little 12-ounce cans, throw another, you know, 8 ounces or something, but it's close. It's close. The high side pressure's down a little bit and the low side, but it's cool outside. I don't think it's even 70 degrees. And I got an electric fan up there on the condenser, so we're getting lots of condensing this morning. Yeah, we're gonna leave it right there. I like it. Yeah, the 22, boy, we're pulling out all the stops this morning out of this truck. Coming in pretty handy, I tell you. I love this thing. Wrenching on stuff, towing stuff, and just day in, day out comfort. I love this truck. Good morning, sweetheart. My CTS too. It's one of my favorite pieces of equipment that we have. And you can see my pirate flag. It's blowing in the wind. It is dry this morning. We could be harvesting right now, man. But trying to rebuild that air conditioner. It's gonna get warm this afternoon and pretty tough to run without an air conditioner. So that's the way it goes with equipment sometimes, is should be harvesting right now, but actually not only that, we got more stuff going. Got my bank out driver. He's on the New Holland floating right now in the orchard. We're trying to get the floors all flat, putting the trees still to bed just yet. The trees aren't done. That's what I got to do as soon as I'm done with this air conditioner. I got to go start water on all these trees. I've got 3 pumps to get started. I've already fueled the 2 diesel pumps, the electric pump. That one's easy. Get that water going. I got to service the old CTS2 here. Let's see here. I'm going to clean that window. I got to clean all the windows, put a little bit of fuel in it, a couple squirts of grease here and there, and hopefully finally then we'll be able to punch out this. Because that's it. That's all that's left in this field. We'll be done in about an hour's worth of harvesting or less. 1 set of trailers sitting there ready to rock and roll. And then we can move to the next field. Got 3 fields out here. This one's number 2. Go punch out number 3 next, and then we are out of here in this area. And then we are again go bouncing across town all the way to the other side of the country, practically into another county, and go grab the last field. All right, next up, this one right here. We got the bank out, and we got the big bad CTS. It's ready. Okay, let's do it. Let's knock this field out, and then we're out of this area and off across town to the other side and keep on moving. I got this guy is walking around out in my rice field. Who is this guy? Oh, I think I know who this is. Ah! I thought I recognized the guy who's walking around the rice field out there.
Got a truck out there.
How's it going, Samson Andrew?
It's going good. How you doing today?
All right.
Successful day, or?
We had a successful day, huh?
I'd say pretty good. Didn't get stuck in the mud bog. Made it through the easy patch.
There we go.
It's gonna be fun.
All right, let's go back to my place. Samson Andrew and his wife Taylor and their 2 kids came down for the weekend to stay with us because Sam, you could say, is a curious person as I am, and he wanted to get the full harvest experience and really see what's going on and what the details of agriculture and what it is that we do. And it was a treat or a pleasure to have them come and stay with us. I mean, they're as good as it gets. They're good people. Our kids got along great and had a fantastic time. And I'll tell you, that's a friend that is willing to take time out of their busy schedule, their action-packed schedule, and come stay with you a whole weekend and show interest in what it is that you do and what your passion is. And I tell you, like I say, it was great having them down, and yeah, what a good friend. No, I really appreciate it, buddy. I got this field all wrapped up last night. This is a good one. Big, long, open checks. This is one I did a lot of drone footage in last year. But there's the last load here. But then we got a little left over, so dump trailer. Bring the dump trailer out. So we got about 16,000 pounds of rice. We're gonna try to stuff it all in the dump trailer. Should all fit. There we go. Okay, my turn. That's it. Alright, well, that's not a bad dump trailer load. Can handle a little more. So if I can get unloaded okay. Should be able to lift it. What is that? That's about 17,000 pounds. Shouldn't be a problem. And away she goes. It's 15,000 pounds is what it is. I know because I weighed it. I already know what my tear is. I'm going to stop it. The pit can't keep up. Come on, baby. Lift that rice. Come on, Pit. Take it away. I like having these tall sides. This is the kind of dump trailer work I do. Getting ready now to load up a whole bunch of compost. I got 3 or 4 loads of compost to do. That'll be my morning job, I guess, before harvest starts. Waiting. Come on, Pit. Unload that sucker. We got stuff to do. Need to go get this header off and get moseying down the road. We got a ways to go. Whoa! Hitting the road. He's got my header in tow. We're gonna go rolling right through town. We made it. Hour and a half on the road, through town, through the countryside, on to the next ranch. But we made it. Here comes one. Get the header all lined up. Pluck this thing off of here. See about harvesting some more rice. Okay, he's gonna pull forward. Got the pin out. There he goes. And the header's all mine. Okay. And up we go. Okay, now put the pins, hook up all the hoses. We'll start cutting some rice. Okay. Here we go. New field, new day. But closer to the finish line. That's the most important part. Lots of things to do after harvest. We got work to do in the trees. We got work to still do in the rice field. I got shop projects. I got all kinds of stuff. But One day at a time, one harvester load at a time, one set of doubles at a time. We're going again. Let's see here, we got straw coming out the back. Yeah, we're getting grain coming in through the grain tank. So our equipment that we're using to harvest our rice is a John Deere CTS Series 2. And with a 21-foot honeybee rice belt header on it. And this is as good as it gets. This is the baddest rig you can get. If it was 1999, but all right, okay, so maybe I'm behind by a few years, okay. But, you know, yeah, this machine is 25 years old, is the truth, and these Maximizer series machines are really good machines. They're old iron at this point, they're not all that valuable, and they're not even really all that sought after anymore. But, you know what, I love the old girl. I like this machine. Maybe part of it is for me as a kid, I remember I started out at 13 years old driving combines, and I started out on a John Deere 7700 Turbo. And, you know, I remember as a kid, back then, you know, these machines were all new and everything, and seeing these machines that the guys up north and stuff had, these guys with big acres and everything, and it's like, wow, look at the rubber, look at the horsepower. CTS2 is 275 horsepower, and it bulges to 308 when the unloading system is on, and it has an 8.1 liter PowerTech John Deere built engine in it. Very good engine. But yeah, I remember, like I said, as a kid, just, you know, it's like, man, one day I wish I could have one of those big bad CTSs. And it's a rice specific machine. John Deere made this machine specifically for harvesting rice. The way it's built with twin rotors in the back is a hybrid machine. And like I said, it's just, this thing was as hot as it got. And it was bigger than life for me as a kid and as a new combine operator, and learning how to be a rice farmer and all this stuff. And so, like I said, a lot of sentimental value. Here I am running that bigger than as big as it got for me in my head as a kid machine. And yeah, she's 25 years old, but you know what? I keep up on her good, keep up on maintenance, keep it inside. It spends 11 months, 10 and a half months inside, stored away, safe and sound and out of the weather. And that is the saver right there. And the bottom line is the capacity. Yeah, the newer machines, they can cut a lot more horsepower. Shoot, I mean, Case just came out with a 775 horsepower machine. That's their new flagship machine. What a monster. But this old CTS, we can cut 3 loads a day fairly easily, and it gets the job for our small operation, because we are like the definition of when people say small family farm. We are a small family farm. That's what we are. And we can't afford the new, the fancy, the huge, and we don't have the acres and the capacity to run some of those big machines at full tilt anyway. So this old gal, it keeps going for me. I keep putting parts at it, keep changing the oil. That engine just keeps on running. And it's got 5,500 engine hours and 4,300 separator hours. On a combine, you've got dual hour meters. One for the separator system, which is the actual harvesting portion, and then, of course, the engine hour meter for when the engine's running itself. So, don't have plans to replace this anytime soon, because we harvest a lot of rice with this machine for the amount that we have invested in it. And of course, my custom built bank out, same thing. I remember as a kid I had a 2-wheel drive, open station, no cab, small little bank out wagon with a real early, I think, like, what is it, a 360 Hemi or 360 something Hemi, where it's one of the early Hemis with the distributor in the back, and it had his 5-speed. It was a fun little thing to drive, but I mean, you couldn't go in the mud. It's 2-wheel drive. You couldn't go in the mud worth a darn with it. And always wanted to have a big old honking 4-wheel drive, 4-steer bank out with a diesel engine and an Allison automatic. That was a big one. You know, the Allison automatic is really, it's just like this right now. He's cruising alongside me. All he has to do is just throttle feather the throttle on that torque converter to keep the right speed to match me, where I remember as a kid running that old 5-speed Hemi bank out, having to ride the clutch because even first gear wasn't low enough to where you could just let your foot out on the clutch. And every once in a while you'd stall the thing out and then you get your head dumped on by the auger if the combine operator happened to not be looking your way at the moment. So that rig right there, being able to have the opportunity and the ability to, I'm not too bad of a fabricator mechanic, having the opportunity and the ability to be able to build a rig like that was so much fun and so rewarding to see it go bank out load after bank out load, headed to the trailers from the combine, hauling that rice, and it has been a great rig for us. So this is our harvesting setup. This is what we use. It's a cheap setup, really. You know, that's the bottom line, is this is a cost-effective but efficient rig. This CTS, while it may be able to not keep pace anywhere near with some of these new big machines, I can work on it. It's not totally computer controlled. It's still a lot of analog in it. I don't need to call the dealer every time there's a problem with it. I can fix this thing. Same thing with that bank out rig. Had something go wrong, found a ground that had gotten loose. Boom, we're up and going again. That's the thing. I can keep all this stuff going myself, and we just keep cutting rice. And that is the moral of the story. Grow rice, harvest rice, sell rice, give the kids a Christmas.
Fired up, that's the first thing. Make sure the air conditioner works. She's ready to roll.
Well, because of some mulching circumstances and compost circumstances and some stuff even going down at the local school that we got to go be parents for, today is a funky day. So my bank out driver, I told him to take the day off, and the wife, she said, why don't you train me how to drive that thing? And I said, say what? She said, seriously. So I said, okay, well, tomorrow we'll go out there and I'll try to train you how to drive the bank out. So there she is right there. I see you. Yeah, there she is. So, and actually, she's a pretty talented gal. She's been in the Air Force. She served in the Air Force, put in her 4 years. And she drove a big Ford Aeromax, Class A, what is it, motorhome? A Class 8 Ford Aeromax with a 42-foot trailer. That was her job in the Air Force. She was a truck driver. So she's got a little bit of experience doing this stuff. So we'll go see how she does with her first trip loaded over to the trailers. But here we go. Okay, we'll unload this, get the bank out filled up, we'll go see how she does. You ready? All right, put in 2. Okay, now what you're gonna do is bend to the right. Where's your auger? There it is. We don't want to knock that sucker off. That's important. I always tell everybody, whenever I've trained someone, I always say, I want you to drive home in your car, in your Honda Civic tonight, on your way home and go, where's my auger on my car? So there you go. Yeah, you're gonna go out here, make yourself a teardrop, make it one swooping turn. There you go. Just follow it around. Hey, there's your CTS there. Whoa. That was sick. Oh, we just hit lockup. Second gear. We're going.
I'm a professional.
You're a professional?
Yeah.
Looks like it. Now, when you get north of Sacramento, you want to take I-5, take the Woodland exit.
Auger!
Auger!
That's what I keep hearing in my head.
Yeah. Well, I hope so. Like I said, that's what I want. Okay, just follow it right across the levee. Up and over the next one. There you go, follow it around, and you want the side of the drain tank on the bank out about 2 feet away from the edge of the trailers, the railing of the trailer. There you go, looking good, looking good. Okay, so yeah, kind of get close, start to straighten out a little bit, but kind of steer back in a little bit. There you go. There you go. No, go back the other way, you get way closer, but don't steer too hard. There you go, just follow it, just easy with the steering wheel, okay? Don't spaz out on me here. Okay, now turn back to the right a little bit. There you go, now watch your auger, turn around, watch your auger, put your hand on your stick shift. Keep going, neutral.
Oh, right. That was stressful.
That was stressful. Okay, now take your foot off the brake. Okay, now hold on, flip this up like this.
Oh, I see this.
Okay, it's the big red button. Now, when I tell you to, when you flip that, what you're gonna wanna do is start to give it a little bit of gas. Okay, but just follow my instruction, okay? All right, go ahead and flip the lever. Okay, go ahead and start, look back there with your foot. Okay, give a little bit of gas. There you go, a little bit more. There we go. There you go. You're unloading. Okay, get ready to drop it in gear. Ready, go. Okay, go. And neutral. Okay, gas. There goes the rice out of the bank out into the trailers. You gotta move your blonde hair out of the way here, dear. I'm trying to show the tank.
Sorry.
Neutral. Rev it up. What do you think?
We're farming now.
Yeah, we are. Is it gonna fit? Bam! Look at that. Okay, hold on. Watch. Is it empty yet? Okay, now it is. Go ahead. Look at her go! One trip to the trailers and back, and now we're unloading on the go like a boss. All right. I knew there was a reason why I married her. Well, I appreciate you coming out, man.
Thanks for the training session.
I'll see you tonight. Oh, I see your ride. Man, that's a good looking rig. Jeez. Well, she's off to go get the kids from school. So, I'm all by myself. And I feel like a kid again. I used to do this by myself all the time as a kid. There's the combine. I'm in the bank out. I park this. I go get on that. I fill that up. The old pirate flag is still flying 5 years later. That's been on there for a while. Pretty cool though, I think. Now that is a fat bank outload. That's a big fat one. Right on. Okay, now I'll go fill the harvester up, then switch, jump in that, and go unload it. This reminds me of when I was a kid, 13, 14, 15, walking across the rice field. Combine completely full in my rear view mirror. Walking to go get the bank out and either bring it over and unload it, or unload the combine into it, or if I already, like in this case, I already got it filled up, head over to the trailers, unload, back and forth. And there's something about when you get down into the rice field, it's got a certain smell to it that, man, just smells like home. To me, I need to get my kids out here more so they can experience some of this. And it's one of those things that you just, it's your comfort zone, your home feeling, whatever it is. I as a kid, I spent a lot of time out here in all these rice fields and learning how to work, learning how to take things seriously, not be a little kid anymore. And that smell of, that's harvest right there, rice harvest specifically. 'Cause every crop smells different, but yeah, good times. Some of the best times of my life has been walking back and forth out in these rice fields, running the equipment that I love. Running now, like I said, the equipment to me when I was young, this stuff was bigger than life. This fancy equipment, and yeah, it might be 25 years old, but it's mine. And I tell you, good times. So now, let me jump in the custom Peterbilt. Not bad, huh? She's full. And go get it unloaded. Oh man, this is a treat. I never get to drive the bank out. I built the darn thing from scratch, but I never get to drive it. I'm the combine driver. Everybody else gets to have all the fun. We're going now, baby. This is the one that's fun to drive. One thing about this bank out, I was so pleasantly happy with how smooth it is after I got it built compared to all the bank outs I've driven in the past. This thing, when it's loaded, man, she rides like a caddy. This thing just kind of floats right along. It's got springs. The springs are supposedly for a Volvo semi. What model, what year, I got no idea. I was sold the springs and said that's what they were originally for, and works for me. Handles the load, and man, does it ride smooth. So most of these bank outs are rough riding puppies. All right, boom. Boom. We're going. That's my girl. She's loading her first set of trailers all by herself. There we go. I think she's got it figured out. I think she's hired on. What do you think? Should we hire her on? See what?
Now I said stop.
Stop?
Yeah. Now.
Look at him. He's 13 and he's on top of the world right now. I remember that age.
Proud of him. Proud of her too. If this isn't a family affair, well, I don't know what is. We want to be done Sunday night. We want to wrap this up. All the family and everybody's out here. We're going to finish, I tell you. Last little strip, and we are almost there. What do you think, dude? Is that done? Huh? About done. We're about done, huh? Is that a wrap for 2024? Yep, that's a wrap, right? About there it is. All done. Okay, got a little bit later than we thought, but we finished 2024 rice harvest in the dark. So this is my grandmother. My grandmother, Irene, she has seen more harvests than all of us. And she remembers some of the very early days. And so, Grandma, I got a couple questions for you. The first question is, what is the earliest rice crop you remember of our family growing?
Well, of our family, thinking back to your ancestors, I mean, gosh, I don't know, probably back in the 50s even was when your great-great-grandfather started.
Okay, and how about you? What's the first harvest that you remember being a part of?
1968, I believe it was.
1968.
Mm-hmm.
What about that harvest that sticks out in your head?
Well, one thing that I remember was something that broke down and we couldn't get the part here, and we had to go way up Northern California to get it. So your great-grandfather called up there and found a place that had it, but they were going to be closed by the time we could get up there, and we couldn't wait till the next day because you know the harvest, you got to keep things moving.
Right.
So anyway, the man was very kind and cooperative with us, and he told your grandpa, he said, you know what a beet digger is? He said, just climb over the fence and I'll leave the part in the beet digger. So we drive way up there along with your great-grandfather and great-grandmother. We took them with us for a ride. So we get way up there, and of course the store is closed. So your grandfather, he climbs over the fence, this big 6 foot, 8 foot probably galvanized fence. He climbs over that, finds his beet digger, gets his part out of there, climbs back out again over the fence, says, well, I sure hope no cop comes along while I'm doing this.
Yeah, really, exactly.
But anyway, got our part and came home again, and they were ready to go again the next day.